When and how did you first learn about cults? Like so many things, TV led the way for me via a King of the Hill episode titled Fun with Jane and Jane. But have you ever considered how often or why the X character joins a cult storyline pops up as much as it does in the 90s and 2000s? I definitely have. So today I'm sharing some choice TV episodes that employ this trope with you. And to add a little structure, I'll be ranking them along the way. Example 1, King of the Hill, Fun with Jane and Jane. Peggy is quite frankly tired of Luann popping over to play board games and bond. She encourages Luann to make friends her own age, which inspires Luann to participate in Rush Week.
Luann, you're in college. You should meet some people your own age. I fear I am becoming your incredibly fun crutch. Sororities are a great place to make friends. Now, I have never had the need to join a formal society to make friends, but then again, I've never used a dating service or a cookbook.
But Luann doesn't fit in quite right. And due to her plain, often dim manner of speaking, she's mocked by a group of Zeta Sigma Tau gals.
My mother and grandmother were sisters at Texas Tech.
Your mother and grandmother were sisters? Shoot! Your family's more messed up than mine.
So, was your mother in a house?
Well, she's been in a halfway house. And in the big house. She stabbed my daddy in the back with a fork.
In a particularly vulnerable state, chipping away at a six-pack, she's recruited by a stranger to join another sorority, Omega. Here's the catch: she has to change her name to Jane in honor of their leader, and she can only eat small portions of white rice. Also, she's ideally not using the bathroom at all, somehow.
You think you are hungry, but you're not. Your body lies to you, just like your parents. But you can trust us. We will tell you when you're hungry. We will tell you when you're tired.
Will you tell me if I have to go to the bathroom right now? Because I feel like I do, but a lot of times when I get there, I don't. And I just sit there and hum.
No! No bathroom!
At the end of the day, this hunger group of girls are taught how to make and sell jam for a jelly queen that we never even get to meet. And that's a shame, as I really do love jam, and I hate to see its goodness used for evil.
We're going to take you someplace where you only go. Number 3. It's called the Omega Ranch. The ranch is quiet and secluded so you can concentrate on making our famous jams and jellies. They're so delicious, especially when smeared on a piping hot English muffin. The ranch is also where you'll get to meet Jane.
But don't worry, the series villain, Peggy, can you tell I feel some type of way about her, is here to make things worse. She joins the cult too.
Omega House appreciates a mother as caring as you are.
Oh, I'm too young to be Luann's mother. I am her aunt.
I wish I could jump in your head and crawl around.
I like how Hank dismisses Peggy's time at the cult as a typical ladies' sleepover.
It's a good thing she's on her ladies' sleepover at the Omega House.
Omega House, huh? It's a cult, you know. They pay me in jams and jellies.
Of course, when he does become privy to the real situation at hand, he saves the day by posting up outside of the sorority house with a grill. The protein-deficient girls are freed. I'm going to rank this one as a B. I like it, but I bet there's better. Example 2, Boy Meets World, cult fiction. This episode opens up with everybody totally dogpiling on Sean. Hard.
You know, Sean, the people who care about you in this life, you can count on one hand.
Mr. Turner, Corey, and Topanga remind him that college is around the corner, and he has no real plans. Jeez.
Well, I want to go to Penn State.
And I want to go where she goes. Anyone surprised by that?
Whoa, okay? Tick-tock. Clock is moving, and you are running out of time to figure out your life.
Hey, John, you're not my guardian anymore. I'm back with my parents. I'll be fine.
Yeah, Sean, but I'm one of the handful of people who cares about you, you know?
A new character, Sherry, overhears this conversation and swoops in shortly after. Preying on Sean's vulnerability, she invites him out to coffee at the center. My first thought when they entered the center was, how nice! Being welcomed in by name and receiving multiple hugs. So I guess I'm also primed for cult indoctrination. We meet the leader, Mr. Mack, who explains the center is all about love and a sense of belonging, that which Sean craves most of all. He's skeptical, but not really. Later that day, it only took a few hours of convincing, as evidenced by his same shirt here. Sean is fully relaying the positive impact of the center to Corey.
Hey, 3 girls.
Are you centered, Corey?
Obviously not like you.
Oh, they're from the center. They're helping me study. I like the center core.
Please excuse us three girls. Listen, Sean, just what exactly is this center of which you speak?
It's not a cult. Don't judge us, Corey.
Sean, you're talking crazy. I mean, you were there for what, an hour?
The length of a journey has nothing to do with its ultimate value, Sean.
That's nice.
Corey.
Sean, listen. Throughout our entire friendship, we've talked about everything, right? I mean, we've talked about girls, we've talked about movies, we've talked about music, but we've never talked about what you believe in.
I believe that I finally found a place where people let me be who I am. You know, without trying to change me or need to know what my goals are in life. I mean, why do I need that?
Sean, what do you believe in?
What do you believe in, Corey? Do you believe in a mother and a father and a comfortable house and a comfortable street because that's what you have? Well, I don't have that. So I found something with these people.
Yeah, but who are these people?
Stop trying to take away what I have. I don't do that to you.
We really have to be going.
The stakes of this episode intensify when Mr. Turner is in a motorcycle accident. Sean is faced with the earth-shattering idea of losing someone who's really been his proxy father. Sean takes Mr. Mack to the hospital with him, and there's a brief but fierce tussle with Corey's dad, who caught me completely off guard with this line.
Mac, you don't belong here.
One of my children invited me, and as always, I'm here for him. I just want you to know that I forgive you for trying to shut us down.
You forgive me?
Easy, George. Come on, he's just trying to get a rise out of you. Look, you're not dealing with gullible little kids here now, buddy. Now, you brought Sean down, thanks. Now, why don't you just take a hike back to Conland?
Now, do you see how judgmental these
No,
people are?
listen. You see. A judgment I made a long time ago is that Sean Hunter is the best friend that my kid ever had. And I will kill to protect Sean Hunter from people like you.
Corey steps in with some serious tough love, telling Sean he has no choice but to stay by Mr. Turner's side and face the very real possibility of losing a near family member. He's standing at the precipice of an even deeper state of aloneness. The episode closes with Sean delivering another monologue from the heart, which is backed by some ethereal instrumentation.
John, even when I was at the center, it was all the things that you taught me that made me wonder if it was the right place for me or not. But you didn't teach me enough. You and Corey and my parents and the Matthews and the handful of people who really care about me, so don't blow me off, John. Don't blow me off, God. I've never asked you for anything, and I never wanted to come to you like this. But don't take Turner away from me. He's not done yelling at me yet. God, you're not talking, but I know you're here. So I'm gonna talk. And you can listen. God, I don't want to be empty inside anymore.
This episode is structured more like a very special episode that you'd watch in the 80s. It takes the dangers of cults seriously, with only 2 or 3 beats of light humor brought to you by Eric Matthews.
Which one of you brainwashed nuts validates parking?
I want to come back.
No.
But because of this vibe and the full send writing style, it goes into the S tier for me. Example 3, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Welcome Traveler. The later seasons of this show are great, mostly due to the ensemble cast and partly due to the increase in midriff tops. When it comes to the former, you've got Miles, an eccentric, hyper-focused on all things paranormal. In this episode, he gets wrangled into an alternate reality cult. I love that by this point, you can tell Miles and Sabrina have developed a real friendship. She even uses a secret knock to enter his room and reassures him that she wasn't followed.
Come in, Sabrina.
After spending several days at the cult's home, Sabrina checks in on Miles. I did notice instead of hugging, this group does a quick massaging motion to motivate each other.
Oh, lordy.
The cult's leader, Jim Tom, is a supposed witch. To prove he's lying, Sabrina has to pluck a hair from his left knuckle. If it curls, he's just immortal. To do this, she turns into a freaky-looking fly. Like Sean, Miles admits the cult has made him feel whole.
All Jim Tom is trying to do is give us a better life and lead us to true happiness.
But you were happy before. Remember, you were so excited to just look at the moon.
And then you told me to get involved on this planet. And now for the first time in my life, I feel connected with myself, with other people, and with the universe. Sabrina, thanks to you, I feel whole.
All my life, I have felt like there was some part of me missing. And I felt like everybody could tell. You know, like there was some hole in me and everyone could see through it. Like I wasn't finished or something.
This is about as deep as the episode gets. Sabrina snaps the cult members out of their trance by zapping the TV and exposing Jim Tom's secret room for the bachelor pad that it is. After all is said and done, Miles remarks that he's made some new friends, and he's thankful that Sabrina stepped in.
The way you went in there and put yourself in the line for me was incredible. You're a really good friend.
This one gets a B from me. It doesn't feel out of place in the series, but it didn't wow me very much. I am excited to touch on the next one. Example 4, Recess, swing on through to the other side. Swinger Girl, who I'll refer to as SG from time to time, has set out to go all the way around the swing set. And she's really going to do it this time. She really is. Once again, I'm jealous, knowing I can barely swing at all without getting really bad vertigo.
She didn't make it.
After the playground has cleared out, Spinelli returns for her basketball. She thinks she sees Swinger Girl achieve this feat. We can kind of tell here that this belief is faith-based because the sun blocks her view and there are no other witnesses. Even so, Spinelli is convinced Swinger Girl transcends to another dimension.
But she was right here a minute ago. I saw her.
Well, where is she then?
I don't know.
Unless
what?
Unless she really did break on through to the other side.
Yeah, that's it. When she went over the top, she must have disappeared into one of those, other dimension thingies.
What?
With SG noticeably absent from school, Spinelli protects the swings and begins proselytizing. She elevates everyone's perception of SG as someone worth admiring for her peaceful ways of life and persistence to swing towards something bigger than yourself. This snowballs. Spinelli shares some poetic, inspiring lines with her followers, and I'm buying into it. So is Mikey.
Never swing too hard until you're ready to jump. Never look down until you're all the way back. And always, always keep trying to go over the top. Because, friends, if you don't try, you'll never make it.
Ever since she saw Swinger Girl go over the top, she's been making a lot of sense.
Ah, hello, Brother Michael. Have you brought the special headgear?
Yes, oh great and wonderful Spinelli. Here they are.
Excellent.
It's worth noting here that this character didn't exactly join a cult. They're building one rife with lore, down to the shape of Swinger Girl's ideal carrot stick shape.
It is said that Swinger Girl never waited until dessert to eat a cookie, and never finished a meal before drinking all her milk. We are trying to reconstruct the way Swinger Girl ate her lunch. No for the carrot sticks.
Then King Bob also buys in, so you know everyone is Team SG at this point.
I hear you've been going around the playground telling kids that Swinger Girl went over the top and disappeared.
That's correct, Robert.
And now, a bunch of kids don't want to play games anymore. They just stand around talking and wearing funny hats all day.
Indeed, it is so.
Then I got just one thing to say.
What's that?
I take a size 7.
Swing, swing, swing.
Just as Spinelli is gearing up to take her own journey around the top of the swing set, SG returns from vacation. Spinelli laments over this sudden loss of faith, but the gang comforts her, mentioning not all of what she said was crazy.
It's just, I guess I wanted to believe so bad that I got carried away. You guys must think I'm a real idiot.
On the contrary, we're actually kind of impressed.
Impressed? Why?
Well, some of what you said was kind of out there, but a lot of it was really cool. Yeah, like never hurting the guy next to you. And always trying to go over the top.
And never giving up no matter what.
Those are good ideas, Spinelli. Really good ideas.
Well, maybe.
The episode wraps up sweetly with Spinelli swinging along SG. In a way, she's following the same advice she'd given everyone else. Push forward. Strive for something more. This episode is short at 12 minutes and sweet, and thanks to a fully committed Spinelli, I'd add it to the A tier here. I know there's another YouTube video video that dives deeper into this episode, including the fact that it was nearly banned, so I'll link that in the description if you want to check it out. So why did this stock plot appear as frequently as it did in these years? Digging deeper, a series of high-profile tragedies, the Waco siege, the Heaven's Gate mass ending, and the Solar Temple passings dominated headlines from 1993 to 1997. True crime journalism was on the rise, and daytime talk shows like Oprah began featuring former cult members sharing their experiences. Meanwhile, the satanic panic of the 1980s lingered still. When I picture cults in more recent TV shows, I'm reminded of the Reasonableists from Parks and Rec or the Equalists from Legend of Korra. In those instances, you can see how we engage with this trope today on opposite sides of a spectrum, from dismissive humor to sober seriousness. I'm sure cults reappear in our stories because they're so fascinating. How could someone cut off their entire family? How could they surrender control over what they eat, how they live, and who they love? But another part of me wants to believe that writers engage with these narratives out of empathy. Setting aside the abuses cult members inflict upon each other, we might recognize that newly indoctrinated cult members aren't simply dim-witted, they're often just people searching for belonging and connection. How deeply human of them. But what do you think about all of that and these episodes? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and until next time, wishing you well.